Princess Luna propelled herself through the jagged, dark gate of Coralia, her lanternfish trailing behind like a dying ember. The light barely touched the walls. Where the bioluminescent towers once pulsed with vibrant color, only brittle gray coral remained. The city was silent. Not the calm of rest, but the suffocating stillness of a graveyard. Luna tightened her grip on her spear, the metal cold against her palm. Her tail flicked, pushing her forward through the heavy, stagnant water. She passed a school of fish huddled in the debris of a collapsed archway. They did not swim away, they only trembled as she passed, paralyzed by the absence of the heart pearl. The kingdom was fading, losing its shape in the encroaching gloom. Luna did not look back at the empty streets or the hollowed-out homes. She accelerated, banking sharply toward the outer currents. The search for the pearl was no longer a duty. It was a race against the final collapse of her home. She reached the perimeter, pushed against the resistance of the water, and darted into the dark, open expanse beyond the ruin. The forest of sea fans rose like a dense, submerged mountain range. Giant seahorses, taller than anchored ships, drifted between the currents. Their armored bodies blocked the path, swaying in a rhythmic, unpredictable dance. Luna did not hesitate. She darted into the narrow gaps between their fins, feeling the displacement of water push her off course. A massive tail swept toward her, and she tucked into a tight roll, narrowly avoiding the impact as the fin brushed the silt above her. She broke through the thicket, her lungs burning, only to face the cave of singing shells. The entrance was a jagged maw that swallowed the light. Inside, the walls vibrated with dissonant, wailing echoes that blurred her vision. Her balance faltered. The sound felt like pressure against her skin, threatening to pull her into the rock face. She pressed her palms hard against her ears, eyes locked solely on the flickering amber glow of her lanternfish, forcing her tail to kick with rhythmic, mechanical precision. She fought the urge to stop, pushed through the wall of sound, and finally emerged into the open, leaving the wailing far behind. The current pulled her into the Whirlpool Valley, a basin of swirling debris and sharp, jagged rock. In the center, held tight within a translucent crystal clam, the heart pearl pulsed with a dying, rhythmic light. Luna surged forward, her hand outstretched, but the water suddenly grew heavy and pressurized. A massive form detached itself from the shadows of the valley floor. The sea serpent coiled around the crystal, its scales scraping against the stone with a sound like grinding metal, echoing through the basin. Its eyes, glowing a sickly, predatory green, locked onto Luna with absolute fixity. She barely had time to pivot before the beast lunged. The serpent's jaws snapped shut inches from her shoulder, the force of the movement displacing a torrent of water that sent her spinning backward. She recovered instantly, catching her balance against a jagged outcrop. The serpent did not retreat. It coiled tighter, its head weaving through the water, jaws parting to reveal rows of serrated teeth. The grinding sound intensified as it scraped its frame against the clam. A clear warning. Luna held her position, her muscles coiled for a strike that she knew would be her last if she missed. The beast hovered, waiting for her next move, while the dying light of the pearl flickered in the dark. Luna kept her eyes on the green-lit gaze of the beast. She did not raise her spear. Instead, she lowered the weapon until it pointed toward the distant, dark horizon, where the kingdom of Coralia lay in silence. She moved her free hand in wide, steady arcs, mimicking the empty streets and the cold, lifeless towers. The serpent froze. Its massive frame, previously coiled for a lethal strike, began to tremor. The grinding of scales against stone ceased. The beast recoiled, its head dipping low as the sharp, predatory tension bled from its muscles. A deep, resonant hum vibrated through the water, shaking the very silt from the valley floor. It was not a roar, but a long, mournful sound of profound isolation. The serpent nudged the crystal clam with its snout. The shell groaned and creaked, slowly forcing its jagged halves apart. The heart pearl floated free, its brilliance instantly cutting through the murky water like a blade. Luna swam forward, keeping her movements slow and deliberate. She reached out, her fingers closing around the cold, pulsating surface of the pearl. As she grasped it, the light expanded, washing over the valley and turning the dark water into a shimmering expanse of gold. Luna swam with the pearl held tight, the warmth of the light spreading through her arms and into the surrounding water. The serpent followed, keeping pace with her as they navigated back toward the dark gates of Coralia. She reached the central plaza and pressed the pearl into its stone pedestal. The effect was immediate. A wave of golden brilliance rippled outward, hitting the city walls and igniting the dormant towers. Gray coral transformed into vibrant hues of violet, blue, and emerald, pulsing with rhythmic energy. The silence of the city shattered, replaced by the soft hum of life returning to every corridor and chamber. The serpent drifted toward the palace entrance, its scales catching the newfound light. It coiled its massive body around the base of the gate, its green eyes clear, calm, and fixed on the perimeter. Luna pulled herself onto the balcony overlooking the plaza. Below, the fish emerged from their hiding spots, darting through the illuminated currents. She watched the kingdom thrive, the pulse of the pearl echoing in the movement of every living thing. The cold had been pushed to the edges of the deep, and for the first time in an age, the city held its breath in harmony,